Assalamu alaikum. This is Khizr Lakhani. I am a final year BScs student at IBA Karachi. Today we will be discussing on a research paper with title Study of Data Warehousing on Cloud Environment. The research paper was written by Dr. Jeba and DS Misbha. Let's talk about the author. Dr. Jeba is the Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education, Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, India. DS Misbha, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, Nizamuni Memorial Christian College, Tamil Nadu, India. So let's see what we will discuss today. We will talk about what data warehousing is, an introduction to data warehousing. After that, we will discuss about the general structure of a data warehouse and how a data warehouse is made. Then we will discuss about cloud computing and characteristics of cloud computing. And then we will discuss about services that offers on the cloud. There are 3 types of services. And after that, we will discuss about the types of cloud according to accessibility. These are public, private, and hybrid. We will discuss later on. After that, we will discuss about the traditional data warehouse versus cloud computing. What is the difference? And in the end, we will discuss about advantages of moving the data warehouse on the cloud environment. So let's start. Introduction to data warehouse. What a data warehouse is? It is a collection of data from multiple sources, or we can say that it is a collection of multiple databases. What enterprises do, for example, there is an e-commerce application, there is an e-commerce enterprise, and they have their branches all over the country, and they have sales in the entire country, and they have multiple branches. So they want to analyze the total sales and compare their sales city-wise. So what they will do, they will integrate the data into a single data warehouse from the data of multiple cities into the data warehouse, and then they can process it and analyze it. So this is what data warehousing does. So next, the general structure of data warehouse. So you can see that to make a data warehouse, data comes from multiple sources, and then we perform ETL. We extract the data from the data sources, we transform it. We transform it, and then we will load the data into the data warehouse. So we extract the data from the multiple sources and then we transform. What means by transformation? We need to transform data. It must be, before load the data into a data warehouse, it must be clean. What is mean by cleaning? It means removing dissimilarities and replicas. We need to do that. We need to transform the data. What if we don't do that? If we don't do transformation, we need to write big queries which will increase the time to execute it. We want the data to come fast, so therefore we need to transform the data, then load it into the data warehouse. Okay. Then when the data warehouse is designed, then it can be organized by using the OLAP cube or cloud computing services. We will discuss it later on. Okay, so what is cloud computing? A cloud computing is a collection of resources which are accessible via internet. So these are resources, or we can say these are services which are accessible via internet, or you don't need to have anything on your machine. You can access it from anywhere. So why cloud? Why not use your own machine and for everything and for every service? The reason is that some services are really big, and some require a lot of computation. So if you will use cloud, the cost of computation will surely decrease, and the large amount of data, you can store large amount of data on the cloud, because there is no limit for you to store data. You can have large amount of data on the cloud. For your own machine, you will have a limit. You cannot increase memory by a large amount. Okay, so what are the characteristics of cloud computing? The first thing, on demand self-service. It means that a resource can be accessed directly without availability of a service provider. So you don't need a service provider to have a service. You can simply access with a URL or an address. You can access the service by yourself. Okay, the second, whatever network configuration a user has, you can access the service without any problem. For an offline software, you need to have a particular configuration to use that software or a product. If the service or product is available on the cloud, you don't need to configure anything on your computer. Since the services are available for any time and have no limit, you can ask for it at any time or of any size. There's no limit of time or size if you are accessing a service on cloud, because it's available 24/7, so you can access it anytime. Okay, the last one, the cloud system can control access and resource sharing based on service and users. So if you are providing a service on cloud, you can control access. You can allow some users, you can block some users as you want or as per need, and you can divide resource. You can divide resource among users or based on service. So you can handle that if you are providing a service on cloud, or if you are accessing a service. So you can have a control mechanism as well. Okay, the service models. There are three types of service models. The first one is SaaS. SaaS stands for software as a service. It allows the user to use the application software on the cloud. We will discuss, we will have some examples as well in the next slide. Then it is PaaS. PaaS stands for product as a service. It allows you to offer space for different high-level software application for deployment. You can deploy your application on a service, a PaaS-based service. Okay, the last is IaaS. IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. It provides storage, computing resources on cloud so that user can share load or use service or computing resources. So let's have some examples. For software as a service, Google, one of the giant. Dropbox, you can manage your files. It's like you can have the data, your files, your any type of data on Dropbox. Google also provide Google Drive. And Salesforce is also a cloud product. Cisco WebEx is a webinar software, and you can share screens, and you can use it for webinars. GoToMeeting, it's also for web conferencing. And PaaS, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. You can deploy your application on AWS cloud without knowing about the platform, irrespective of the platform you are using or the infrastructure of your application. You can deploy your application with any configuration or any infrastructure on the AWS cloud. The Heroku